All right, well, up at the top of Crossfire, we have our Zerg player from the team, MVP. Looks pretty good, but it looks like he's got a little bit of learning to do. He is
MVP Monster.
There he is. He's got a mouse bungee. I still don't have one of those. I want one so bad. Down at the bottom of the map, we have our Blue Terran player from the team, FXO. He is
FXO GuMiho.
I bet they sell them at the Technomart or something.
I don't know. I heard.
I haven't actually seen them for sale, but
I'll have to go look sometime. But now here's kind of the big thing to think about. Even if Monster does defeat GuMiho in this match, he has to go on to face SC, and I feel like GuMiho is kind of like SC light. You know, he's like SC's understudy a little bit. So it's going to be, you know, as if Monster's having this much of a challenge with GuMiho, if he manages to overcome GuMiho, he's going to be really having a hard time with SC, I think. But we'll see what happens.
by the way, they've switched up. That's another patch change, by the way. They've actually made it so that if you repeatedly select control groups or something like that, it actually doesn't count for your APM. So right now I'm looking at the APMs. GuMiho's at 100 APM, which sounds really low, but is actually extremely high because he's doing a lot of spamming right now that is not registered any longer on the APM.
Yeah. Well, 100 actions per minute is basically like, what, 1.3 something actions per second? I don't know the exact mathematical equation. Plus it is actually in Starcraft seconds and minutes, so
yeah,
in real life it's actually higher than you see in the display too. That's all math stuff. I'm not interested in that.
And so we do have both players scouting each other. I like that Monster. Oh, there's the gas deal again. GuMiho, you are actually never using that gas.
Yep.
He's actually going to cancel that extractor
that Marine's
infinity
like,
times.
Oh, great. Good thing I have unlimited bullets.
That's true.
Yep. Uses up every bullet in the entire world. You know, I wish there was like a mod that counted the amount of bullets that Marines fired in the game. I bet that'd be kind of funny to see.
Amount of shots they take. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. So, I'm curious to see what exactly Monster has planned for this. I mean, his Butyl play did look pretty good. Looks like GuMiho's going to go for a Reactor Hellion expand. Very safe thing to do on this map. You can also put some nice pressure on your opponents with those Hellions as well. And you don't need your second gas to do this type of opening too, so that's good as well.
Yeah, that's lucky for him. Yeah, he's going to be able to put on some pressure theoretically with some Hellions. Of course, Zergs are pretty good about getting that spine crawler down or something.
Oh, look at that.
Ooh.
Hidden gold base for GuMiho. Interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah. Now, will Monster pick up on this? I don't think he's going to really be able to get any more scouting done with that drone, obviously. When he does finally try to move away from the Vespin gas, it's just going to die. So he really doesn't know, if there is a command center being produced or not right now.
19.
What was that, like 4 or 5 there? Something like that?
I don't know, I lost count. But the Hellions are about complete, but so is the spine crawler at the front of Monster's base. Of course, this is a wide open natural on this map rather, so GuMiho could theoretically just run those Hellions by the spine crawler.
Well, the really nice thing about the Hellions for GuMiho is that he's going to be able to kill the Zerglings that are scouting around the map to make sure that this gold base doesn't get spotted.
Yeah, I mean, that's their true purpose, really.
Yeah, not a lot he can do, but the Overlord, he sees the Zergling coming in, and he moves his SCVs back, too. You can see it on the minimap, so GuMiho being very careful. Doesn't want this discovered. Yeah,
doesn't want to make the same, I don't want to say mistake, but doesn't want to have the same bad luck that Select had in having his discovered, his gold base.
It wouldn't be a lot of fun. And this is a nice thing about Crossfire is that you can, really keep close track on all the different running paths here. I mean, there's not a lot of places that Zerg can run around that you'll be surprised about, And
I like this. Monster, look at these. He's blocking the top, but he doesn't know it. He sends a single Hellion up, so not all of his Hellions get trapped. Brilliant move by GuMiho as well, actually, saving his Hellions there. But nicely done by Monster to have that trap at the top of the ramp, so if he tries to run by, which I mentioned earlier, he wouldn't be able to. And that third queen is out now for Monster, who has just had insane creep spread. He's already got 2 active tumors on the map.
Yeah, his creep spread is so good. He's already got that down. We're only 7 minutes into the game, and that's Blizzard minutes, man. That's fast. Now, he did get an Overlord into the base of GuMiho to do a little bit of scouting for those buildings there, but I don't think he really saw enough to tell him if there was a command center being built. Although he should know that the command center would normally be done by now too, so. Monster probably is starting to have a little bit of an inkling that something is up, a little bit of a spider sense tingling in the back of his head, but GuMiho's just got such good map control with these Hellions that it's really going to be tough for Monster to kind of find this out. Oh, look at that, a bunker there too, just to stay safe. If he actually goes ahead and walls that off with supply depots, it's going to be pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's going to be tough to get into.
Yep, definitely GuMiho playing, yeah. Oh, he's actually making 2 starports too with that.
That's really interesting, actually. I wonder.
Okay. Well, with the gold base, well, here's what he's doing. With the gold base, you can produce enough minerals, obviously, to make a ton of Marines, and you also have enough to go 2-port Banshee as well. So this is just going to be really tough for Monster to deal with.
He's got a reactor next to one of the starports on the factory, so I think he's going to get medevacs with that one. I'm curious if he's just going to make triple medevac, or he's making a Viking. Oh, it was actually just a mistake, I think, because he canceled the starport. Oh, one of them.
Huh. All right.
I actually have no idea. Nope, never mind. He just
gold base was found. Yeah, he was making 2 starports.
Yeah, he was making 2 starports, so that must have just been a mistake, actually.
Guess so.
Interesting.
Never mind. Going into more of a normal SC style TVZ, just a ton of barracks, ton of reactors.
But yeah, I mean, with the gold base basically counts for 1.5 bases, so he's at 2.5 base at the moment in a way, and so he can just support a ton of barracks, and he's in fact putting down a 2nd and 3rd reactor on a couple barracks. He's going to be able to produce 7 Marines at a time once this gets going, plus double medevacs. Making even another barrack, so he's just basically going to go all in off these couple bases and just overpower him. That's what he's going to try and do.
Well, this is a really good strategy for this map to open with that reactored Hellion opening to get the map control into the gold base with just a ton of Marines. It kind of takes the style he prefers to do anyway, and it just kind of like energizes it. It's like, I don't know, man. It's like he's a gummy bear Terran. He's drinking that like gummy bear juice or whatever they drink in that show to make him like crazy powerful.
I'm sorry, I haven't seen the Gummy Bear show. I thought it was just candy.
Nope. Totally wrong, man.
Oh, man, he's ruining Monster's creep spread here.
Those
that spine crawler. Oh, he does get a surround. The Banelings are not speed upgraded, but are they going to be able to get there in time? Get some Marines.
Yep, gets a couple, but here's the trouble Monster's going to run into. There's going to be infinite amount of Marines. Huge amounts. We're up to, 30-something Marines right now. That's going to get a lot higher soon. And it's just really tough to deal with that many Marines. I mean, there's not really a whole lot you can say about it other than Marines are strong.
Yeah, they are. Mutos are on the way right now, about a dozen.
Now, the one little advantage that Monster has is he might be able to sort of corner GuMiho in a place where the Banelings can connect with the Marine balls, but because it is a little bit narrower running lane, but again, just so many being produced, it's a lot more expensive for Monster to produce what he needs to handle the Marines than it is for GuMiho to just make the Marines.
Yeah, especially since GuMiho has his 3rd up now, so he's basically at 3.5 bases to only 2 for Monster, so Monster just does not have the economy to keep up with this. The only chance he has right now, running with Zerglings and Banelings.
Oh, nice
and those Mutas, good splitting.
Really good.
Beautifully done.
Wow, loses maybe 3 Marines. This is kind of like, I feel like the next step in like kind of the Marine King style CBT, The only chance Monster has right now is to land some really good Baneling hits. Yeah.
If he had Burrow, it would be some Baneling landmines, but I don't know if he's going to be able to pull that off. GuMiho's already pushing into his expansion here.
Yep, needs to be pretty cautious with that. Wants to be careful that he doesn't get those guys clumped up on a ramp like you were talking about. Doesn't want the Banelings to connect at all. Monster might be deciding to go for a counterattack, it looks like. No, he's going back to the middle of the map, checking the zone. Nagatari runs into the Marines in the middle of the map. Loses a lot of Zerglings there.
Yeah, and I'm actually a little surprised that he hasn't gone to harass with the Mutas yet, since there's not much defense at any of his expansion bases. And that might be a way to get GuMiho to turn around, because right now he wants those Mutas to battle against those Marines, but it's just not going to do enough. The only way those Mutas are going to be worth their weight is to go and do some harassment, try and bring GuMiho back.
Cancel 225. Dead 0.
Right. And this Ling run by is going to help as well with the Mutalisks. Nicely done. He's going to run in here and kill some reinforcement Marines. Beautiful decision making there by Monster.
Yep.
Going to do some decent damage and going to bring GuMiho back.
Yeah, the attrition rate is just so high with the Zerg units, especially every Muta he loses. Those Marines are running for their lives from those Banelings, and that Marine is not going to get away. Oh, Zergling's coming from the other side to clean that up.
Nice.
Doesn't have to use a lot of Banelings on that too, so that's nice.
Good. Unfortunately, a drop did cancel the top left base, so Monster's still on 2 bases. Monster needs to kill one of GuMiho's bases, like, now.
You know,
like 5 minutes ago, or he is just going to get totally overpowered.
Despite the amount of Marines that GuMiho can make because of the gold, it's a tough map to do this kind of strategy. This drop, though, wow, look at that dropping in the barest sliver that doesn't have vision. This is going to kill a good amount of drones, I've got a feeling. Might get a queen or two as well. Oh, he's just going to attack with the drones.
Oh, no, he can't afford this right now.
Man, that is a slaughter. Oh, speaking of slaughter, here comes Monster, all the Marines and Banelings taken out, but there's just so many Marines right now. GG. And GuMiho shows us what Marines can do again. He's like, yeah, I just like Marines. Who's the Marine King now? Wow.
Yeah, so GuMiho takes a quick 2-0. Well, not quick, but a 2-0 victory.
Marines.
Too bad for Monster. He showed some very good skill there.
Yeah.
Some very strong macro and some insane creep spread, but did not quite work out for him.
Well, that's a good strategy on that map, you know, to use the Hellions to get map control and
yeah,
take
that
the
was
gold.
a really good build.
It's smart. Yeah.
To give credit, give credit to GuMiho where credit is due. That was a really strong build, very smart decision on that map, and played it out just perfectly.
Yeah.
You know, I love that it was the little things like putting one Marine in a bunker blocked by depots in a turret. That little tiny thing, very small investment, made it so that Zerglings could not harass that base.
Made
it was hard for Mutas to harass that base in small numbers.
Yeah.
So very, very smart little play there by GuMiho to really just protect that gold base very easily, enabling him to put more pressure on.
Well, he just put Monster in such a difficult position in that game. I mean, it's really, that would just be really hard to deal with. I mean,
yeah.
I feel bad for Monster. That's a tough strat to do anything against on that map specifically, too.
Yeah.
So,
and he was just under so much pressure, he could never even take a third.
Yeah.
So you got to hand it to Monster as well. He actually held things off pretty well, considering he had half the economy of GuMiho the whole game.
Well, I'm trying to think of what you'd really do in that case. I'll have to talk to some of my Zerg player friends who are a little bit better than I am about that. Yeah, interesting series there. And kind of interesting to see this straight-up Marine medevac style coming back in TVZ from players like SC and GuMiho. Have to see how long it lasts, really. I mean,
not a single tank made that game.
Yeah, that's true. Marine King was the one who kind of popularized that way back in Open Season 2. Zerg's kind of found a way to sort of deal with it, but with these new sort of high-powered versions of that, it's going to be interesting. I think Zergs are going to need to adapt to it. I wonder how popular that style is actually going to get here in the near future.
Yeah, I wonder. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break, by the way. Do not go anywhere. Yu-Gi-Oh! Versus Hero is coming up next. That is going to be awesome. We'll see you in a few.